In the next section of this course, we are going to be discussing string methods. So in chapter 5, I had already created a new file called string underscore methods.py. So I want you to do the same so you can follow along. Now inside this file, you can see that I have created a variable called sentence, and it is simply equal to a string called Python is fun. Now we are going to be performing some manipulation on this string using string methods. So you might ask, what are string methods? So string methods are basically methods or functions that Python has given us by default, which we can use to manipulate strings to give a desired output. Now I'm going to be sharing a few string methods with you, and I'm going to be teaching you how to use them. And I will also share a link to where you can practice more string methods because we have a lot of string methods in Python which help us manipulate string. Now, the first one that we're going to talk about is upper. So we have this string right here, and then it's just equated to Python is fun. So let me just make this P lowercase. So we have this string and all the characters are lowercase. Now, what if we wanted to convert every single thing, every single character in this string to an uppercase character? What we can do is we can make use of the upper keyword or the upper method, which is going to take the string and convert all the characters in the string into uppercase letters. So let's see how that is going to work. I'm going to say capitalize sentence, capitalize or uppercase sentence. Let's name it uppercase underscore sentence. And what are we going to equate this to? We're going to equate this to sentence, which is the sentence variable right here. We're going to say sentence dot upper. And you can see that Python is already, you can see that we're already being given this by default. So I'm just going to call it. Now, once we do sentence dot upper, what the Python is going to do is it's going to take the string inside the sentence variable and it's going to convert every single character into an uppercase item. So what I can then do is I can just come here to print uppercase sentence. So once I run this program, you can see that we have this string being printed in the terminal. Python is fun and everything is in uppercase. So you can see that using the string method called upper, we were successfully able to convert all the strings, all the characters in the string into an uppercase letter. Now, the next item that we're going to be talking about is the dot lower. Now, the dot lower is just the opposite of upper. It converts all the uppercase letters to lowercase letters. So let's say, for example, this full sentence was fill the uppercase character. So let's just say Python is fun. What I can then do is instead of saying dot upper, I can say dot lower. And once I save that and run this program, you can see that Python is fun in lowercase gets printed out in the terminal. So we have several string methods which just help us to manipulate the string that we are currently working with. So Python gives a lot of these methods to us by default so that we don't have to write it ourselves again. Now, another method that we're going to talk about, let me just undo that. Another method that we're going to talk about is the dot split method. So we have this string right here called Python is fun. What we can do is we can separate this string into their individual parts. So what I mean is we can break it up into their individual words in the string. So let's say I wanted to break up this string into individual parts. So the first part will be Python, second part will be is, and the third part will be fun. And they are all separated by space. What you can do is you can make use of this dot split Python method. I'm going to create a new variable and I'll call it split sentence. And I will equate this to sentence dot split. Now, what exactly does this do? So what the dot split does is that it goes into the string and it splits it and separates the string into their individual parts. So Python is will be the first part, is will be the second part, and fun is going to be the third part. So once what we can now do next is that we can print out this split sentence. And once I print it out, I want you to notice what it gives us. Once I print it out, you can see it gives us this kind of weird data type that we have not seen before. What you have here is a list, and we are going to look at lists in a future video. But what I just want you to notice is that it took each individual word in the sentence and it broke it down and it broke it into and it broke the sentence into each individual part. So Python is one item in the list, is one item in the list, and fun is another item in the list. Now, you don't really need to understand what a list is now, as I'm going to explain it in a future video, but I just want you to know that anytime you use a dot split, anytime you use a dot split string method, it is always going to break the string down into a list, and the list is going to contain each individual part. Now, there's something else that you need to take note of. Anytime you're using the dot split method, it takes in a separator. That is, what do you want to split by? Because we didn't pass anything into the parentheses here, what Python did was it just splitted the string using the empty space. So it's just used the empty space right here as the separator. But if I were to put dash or hyphen in between each word, I want you to notice what we have. You can say that everything is now one word, or everything is now one item inside a list. You can see that it isn't splitted anymore, unlike the first item. So the reason why it's not splitted into their individual parts is because when we said dot split, what Python did was it was splitting using white space. So using this empty space. So it would then use that empty space to split them. But what we can then do is, since each of the words are separated by an hyphen, we can just simply pass in the hyphen here, because we're telling Python that we want to split this string and we want to use this hyphen as the item that separates each word in the string. So I want you to notice what happens when I print this now. So when I print it, you can see that each item is now being separated, and we have three items in the list, unlike here before where we had everything as one item. So what Python did is that it just took this hyphen and it looked at the string and it said that, okay, we're going to split or separate the string using the hyphen. So essentially what it did was that any point where it saw the hyphen is broke the left and right elements up. So at this point, it saw that it had an hyphen between Python and is. So it broke this element and it broke these entire elements together. Then it's moved to the next string, and then it moves to the next element. Then it saw an hyphen here. So it broke this one and broke this one apart. So it just helps to separate all the elements in the split method just helps to separate all the elements using a unique separator. Although if you don't pass in a unique separator and if you leave it empty, it will try to separate using just white space. So that is how the dot split method works in Python. Now, the next one that I am going to be teaching you is the dot replace. So let's say I create a new string and I call it introduce, and I equate this to my name is Solomon. Now, what if you wanted to replace this string? What if you wanted to replace this name Solomon with something else? What we can do is we can make use of the dot replace string method. Now, what the dot replace string method does is that it basically takes in two values. So it takes in the value that you want to replace, and it takes in the new value that you want to place. It takes in the value that you want to remove, and it takes in the new value that you want to place in. So if I wanted to replace Solomon with Daniel, for example, what I can simply do is that I can say new text is equals to introduce dot replace. Now, what do I want to pass into replace? The first thing is we need to pass in what value we are trying to replace. So since it's Solomon, I'm just going to pass Solomon in as a string. And then the next thing that we need to pass in is the actual value we're trying to replace it by. So I will just pass in Daniel. So what I can then do is I can come down and print new text. So once I save and run the program, instead of printing out, let me show you this. Instead of printing out my name is Solomon, you can see that my name is Daniel gets printed out. That is because in this new variable, we equated it to this string, which is introduce dot replace. And we said go into this string, Then wherever you find Solomon, replace it with Daniel. So the first item that you always pass into the dot replace is the value you are trying to remove. And then the second value is the new item that you are trying to insert into the string. So these are just the few string methods that we are going to be talking about. Now you have a whole lot more, and I actually have uh, a lot of them open right here. I'm going to be leaving a link in the description of this subtopic. So I would like for you to visit this link, or you can just check it out from the video right here and visit it. So essentially what we have here is a list of Python methods which we can apply in our program. You can see that we have a lot of Python string methods right here, and we talked about a few. For example, if I can find the dot upper, we talked about the dot lower, which is here, and we talked about dot upper, which is here. So the good thing is that if you want to practice, what you can do is you can just select any one of them, and when you select them, it takes you to a page that actually shows you how to implement it, how to use it. So it shows you an example, it gives you an example, and it shows you the results when you click try it yourself. So for example, if I click try it yourself, it shows you the result. So I would highly recommend that in order to practice more string methods, you should come to this specific page. So for example, if I wanted to use dot capitalize, we can see the description of what it does here. It says it converts the first character to uppercase. So what I would do is in this string, let me just separate it now and just put Python is fun. So what I can do is I can change it from upper to capitalize. Now, once I say sentence or capitalize, I want you to notice what gets printed out. You can see that it now says Python is fun. So you see that the first item, the first element, which was Python, has its first word, has the first letter being capitalized. So here, Python started with the lowercase p, but when we run the program, we can see Python started with an uppercase p. That is what the capitalize method, string method does. So these string methods are going to be used quite a lot, and I cannot stress and I can't overstress the importance. So I would highly recommend that you practice a bunch of these string methods. So let's just take a few more examples. So we're going to use the index. So the index searches for a string, searches the string for a specified value and returns the position of where it is found. Now, if you remember, in a previous session, I explained that every single item or every single character in a string has an index. For example, now P in this string has an index of 1, Y has an index of 2, then we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12, and so on. So every single character, including the white space itself, has an index which represents the position in the string. Now, what we can do using this string method .index is that we can find the specific position of an item in a string. So let's say I wanted to find the position of f in this string. What I can just do is I'll create a new variable and I'll say position of f is equals to, and I'm going to equate this to sentence dot index. Now, what do I want to find? What is the index that I want to find? Since I want to find the index of this specific character, which is f, I am just going to pass in f as a string or as a character right here. Now, what this is going to do is that it's going to go into this string, which is sentence, and it is going to search the entire string. And once it finds the first occurrence of that specific character, which is f, it is going to print out that index immediately. So what does that mean? Notice that I said once it finds the first occurrence. So what that means is that if another f exists here, it's going to completely ignore this and it is only going to print out this f because it only searches for the first occurrence. So let me just print out the position of f right now. I'm going to print out position of f. Now I want you to notice what we get when we run the program. You can see we get 10 getting printed out in the terminal. So that means that it shows us the correct index of where that character is. So if we decide to count it now, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you can see that Python properly was able to find the index of f. So if I were to add f here, for example, just to show you that it only finds the first occurrence, Once I run the program, you can see that it gives us 10 again. So even though we have another F here, it's completely ignored it and it only found the first occurrence. So that is basically how the dot index works. It just basically helps us go through a string and search for where and searches for the first occurrence of a specific character of whatever we pass into it. And once it finds it, it prints out the index, which is the location of that item in the string. So we have a bunch more. We have is digits. This one returns true if all characters in the string are digits. So you have a whole lot more. And I will encourage that you come to this page to practice them, as you are going to be using these string methods a lot in your program as you proceed. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.